Hey everyone, thanks for tuning into the Performance Lab. Don't forget to subscribe below to the right for updates to new videos and a huge announcement coming up. Enjoy! What's up everyone, Morey Croson here from the Performance Lab of California, and we have a new breakdown for you today on improving your overall pop time as a catcher. And we are starting off with the breakdown of JT Realmuto, which I feel like is just a no-brainer in terms of if you want to actually improve your pop time. I mean, watching how he's able to get the ball out of his hands and what his overall mechanics are is going to be something that is definitely will have a direct correlation from your overall ability to perform now as a catcher and your pop time now, and seeing what he does. What are some small little critiques you could do in your own catching, and your ability to transition that can help you in maximizing your ability to increase your pop time. So we'll go ahead and hop right into the breakdown here. So the thing that I really like about how he overall moves, and what are some of the things that he does very well, is he relies on some of the biomechanical principles that I know we talk about, but are kind of established within the community, which is to be able to have a lot of overall stabilization, and also to work on the efficiency of the movement. So we'll go into how he's able to do that. First, we'll talk about from a lateral stability standpoint, or also lateral force standpoint, and how that's generated. So you can see the ball here, and what he does. He does this basically every time that he catches the ball. It's just kind of a habit that he does, where he shifts from his right leg to his left leg as he's catching. So he starts off, he has more weight on his right side, and then as the ball's getting closer, he just naturally shifts over to his left side. So now most of his power is off of the right leg, which gives him the ability to be very, very quick in being able to get off of his right foot. So now when he's moving, you can see he can just very easily transition off of his right leg, and he just doesn't get too much vertical movement when he initially catches the ball, right? So he's here, boom, he just transitions and he stays very, very low. Look at how much bend he has in that back leg. Even look at how much bend he has in the front leg, and then his overall shoulder height is very, very low in comparison to when he releases the ball, right? So you can see that what he's doing is he's using the lateral force and lateral stability to be able to load, and then from there, when he's actually throwing the ball, it's all about verticality, right? So he's very low and his legs here, and then as he's getting rid of the ball, everything is getting more and more vertical, so that's where he's creating most of his force. So what would end up being a great way for him to be able to improve his pop time would be to increase his overall vertical jump, because of how his force is going that way. Now I see a lot of guys that immediately pop and stand up in their when they first catch the ball. So they go from here to being very straight in the legs. They don't have very much knee bend, and their shoulder height is very high from the beginning, which makes it so now they're relying a lot on their rotational force, which isn't a bad thing necessarily. But what JT Realmuto does is he uses both vertical force and rotational force because of the lateral stability that he has. Okay, and so it's just a difference of what is your actual technical use of the force production, and making it so you can then be very, very quick in the release. So if you stand up, right, automatically there's extra time that goes into the throw because you have to go and actually stand up, right? So this time that he catches the ball, boom, we can see 25.85 here. Okay, so we'll just go right through the actual process. 25.85 till when he gets to his loading position, 26.25, right? So that was not very much time at all, 0.4 seconds to just get him from, in that catching position to being able to have the ball ready to load, right? Just this 0.4 would be ahead of a lot of guys that we've done breakdowns for, or guys that we work with. So 0.4 there, and then from here, gets the ball out at, let's say 26.52. So it's still under a second. Okay, so far he's used up 0.67 seconds from the time he caught the ball to the time the ball gets out of his hands. Okay, and then usually I say, the ball gets about halfway. Let's see. You can see the ball right here. So it gets to the catcher
or to the pitcher. Oh, we lost it there. 26.96. So now we're over a second. Okay, but only by a little bit. We're at 1.11 seconds. Okay, when he's halfway, and then actually gets to the second baseman's glove. 27.76. Or sorry, 79. Right, so he's a little bit under a second here in terms of his pop time. And this is, being able to throw somebody out who's on second. This isn't a steal. This is throwing somebody out that, is just leading off too far and gets them fairly easily because, again, it's all based on, we're just looking at the pure numbers here, right? I mean, it's all just based off of how he's able to catch the ball low, right? Transition himself very quickly, get to that position where he has that ball, loaded, ready to go very, very quickly. I mean, it takes him only 0.4 seconds to catch the ball and then get himself in a position where he's, beginning the throw. And then from there, being very, very forceful and being able to create vertical force and rotational force in the throw. So that makes it so he gets that velocity to be able to get the ball there. Right, if he was just going and standing straight up and relying on the rotational force, which again I see a lot of guys do, now that's what increases the time. That's what makes it so it takes more than 2 seconds to get the ball there. A lot of guys are able to actually get the ball out of their hands fairly quickly, but when they get the ball out of their hands fairly quickly, their ability to get the ball to second base is not very good. Or you have the other side of the coin where they're just not able to flip their hips as well. They're not able to transition through the throw as well or through the motion as well, which makes it so, now their release takes a little bit more time. And then when their release takes more time, then 0.67 seconds, now you end up getting a harder throw, but you still don't have the as good a pop time because you're just releasing the ball too late. So you have to be able to play with both of those things. And again, the two big things that he does that really, really stand out is one, being able to shift from the right leg to the left leg, keep his body low. Because he does that, he's able to keep his body low. Right, so he gets this position very, very quickly, and then from there he uses vertical force as well as rotational force to get the ball out of his hands. So if there's two things you guys can work on, catchers, if you have a high pop time, it's because either one, you're not getting the ball out of your hands fast enough, which working on that ability to laterally shift, stay low, get the ball out will be something that you can work on there. Just working on that drill right there. Just go here, shift from your right, if you're a right-handed catcher, shift from your right leg to your left leg, stay low, get the ball out of your hands. Okay, or if you're able to get the ball out of your hands quickly and you need to just work on your ability to generate more force, stay lower as you're transitioning through. So then when you're creating force, you're creating more vertical force as well as rotational force. Because I'd make the argument that you're probably using almost all rotational force in order to throw the ball down, which is making it so you're decreasing your overall velocity. So you get the ball out quick, but you stand up too fast, which makes it so now you don't generate as much force as you can if you use both vertical and rotational force during your actual throw. All right, so hopefully this helps you guys. If you have any questions, you can always reach out. We have a lot of resources that we can use for you. We have a individual breakdown that we could do. Comes with a lot of different exercises, a lot of different drills. We obviously do this for a wide variety of different types of sports. Just really, everybody here at the Performance Lab of California has a big fascination for the improvement of movement. And really the efficiency of movement. So being able to, really connect to that and understand how you can, as an athlete, move better, move more efficiently, get more out of your game is going to make it so you can have a elongated career, have more success from a performance perspective. And that's what we're trying to do. And that's our big goal. So if you're interested in getting a breakdown, let us know. We'd be happy to do that for you. Again, it comes with drills, comes with exercise, comes with a breakdown just like this to really focus on what it is that you need to improve from an athletic standpoint. We don't only do it for catchers. We obviously do it for baseball pitchers, catchers. We do it for, athletes that are working on sprinting, running, 5-10-5 jumping. There's a lot of different things you can check out. Our page here, the link is below to get some more information. And again, if you have any questions, you can just email us, info@yourperformancelab.com, or you can email me, Morey@yourperformancelab.com. All right. As always, guys, thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you soon.
This video, I hope you really enjoyed it, and if you did, you could subscribe down below, and that way you can get updates on any of the new videos that we get. Also, if you want to, you can check out some of our other breakdowns for speed and throwing. We have exercises, also jumping mechanics videos, a lot of great stuff within our channel. Hope you enjoy.